Hey everybody, this is Professor DiMaggio's Gaming. So I'm happy to say I'm starting a brand new series where I'm going to be doing commentary to help people get to Master Rank and beyond, talking about my individual matches. So what I'm going to do here is I actually don't like doing commentary during live matches because I just can't do good quality commentary while in the middle of concentrating. And so it's one or the other. You're either doing good commentary and looking back and being able to pause what you're doing to show people, or you're just sort of playing the game and doing a minimal amount of commentary. So what this series is going to do is it's really going to go through the details of individual matches that I think are sort of teachable moments. Some of these matches, in terms of helping people with different techniques and ways to get to master rank and beyond. So hopefully you enjoy these. If you like them, leave a like and leave me some comments in the YouTube video and let me know if you want more. Okay, so this was a first to two against Master Cami. Most of this match early on started with a little bit of, basic footsies, sort of feeling each other out. Just getting lucky and connecting on some of it. That sequence right there is pretty effective, though. You can see. Watch that again. Skip forward a little bit. So this drive rush and crouching light kick, which is a really good way to start combos, especially if the second combo is going to be the big damage combo that you want. This is just a really easy way to sort of get yourself in. You'll notice with that hit, like I wasn't very close, so it's got a really good range, but it's also extremely fast. If you watch that again, see how far away I was, like full screen, really. So you can do that crouching light kick into target combo and do a hard cyclone and into an EX sky high, right? And then that's going to set you up. Like that was not a lot of damage for that combo, as you can see, probably less than 20%. But, you can set up the frame kill here into the actual damage for the second combo. So it was a crouching medium kick is the frame kill. We go back again into the crouching medium punch, which is meaty. So that crouching medium punch hits meaty there. We watch one more time. Crouching medium kick, crouching medium punch, and you can do it in the medium cyclone, light punch, drive rush into whatever combo you want after, and you can see it finishes them off. So really good amount of damage between the two combos if you can hit on the meaty. I believe, if I remember correctly, the second round went to him, the Kami player. It's just more sort of basic footsie stuff, but I just, wasn't getting lucky on some of the what I was throwing out there. You can even see there, though, that if you're sort of closer to the corner, I was mentioning in my How to Get to Rashid to Master video that the side switch, especially if you're close to the corner, you can push them into the corner with the side switch and then into a throw after. That could be really devastating in matches. And, it just works, as you saw there. Not for the round itself, but just in general as a tactic. So the Kami wins this round. Then I ended up taking the third round. I think there's a trade at the end of this one, yeah. sometimes you get lucky when you start off with a light cyclone like that. If people want to jump in and be aggressive, you can beat out what they're pushing. So it's worth sometimes going for, although it loses realistically to if someone jumps in. So you just got to be aware of that. So yeah, I think this is one of those situations where you can do the slide punch into level 3, and it actually works in this case, where you get about 50% damage because if you're not doing it regularly in the match, people are not expecting it. And then one other thing you can do after, it's sort of interesting here, it's sort of extra pressure. I wouldn't say it's a meaty, but you can actually jump forward into the downward heavy punch and then try and do an EX after. And even if it doesn't land, it's still sort of free pressure that bounces you out of there, as you can see. So I managed to sort of catch him on the other end. Sometimes that really works in terms of hitting him with the heavy punch jump in and then the EX sky high after. So it can be a pretty effective tool too. So that's the end of the first match. For match 2, it gets even more interesting. There's all types of stuff here that's sort of useful to watch in real time in a match that would help with a a grind to master. The thing that you just saw here, this is actually really effective. You drive rush, crouching, medium punch. You give that medium punch some actual range with the drive rush, and then you can switch up. You can go from, sort of like the standard crouching medium punch into the low crouching medium kick into the light mixer. And this combo overall, it's not like a huge damage combo, but it's just good as a mix-up, and you can try to get the throw after too. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, just depending on if the person is expecting throw and if they guess throw. As you can see in this one, the throw gets teched. But still, the rest of the damage was good. That's another thing I was meaning to talk about in these videos. This is actually a strategy I employ in this game. One of the problems, the big problem that comes up after light mixer is you're something like -3. And so basically it's an easy situation for you to get bullied with Rashid. So what people can do is, like, if you try to push a button, they're just going to push a button. And since you're negative there, you're going to get hit. They can, if you try to, so if you push a button, it's just not going to end very well. They can throw you after, and if you don't throw tech, if you don't guess throw, you're not going to be able to. You just get thrown. So if you guess throw, you can throw tech, fine. But the problem is that you're negative here and you're so close. So it's really not sort of an ideal situation to be in. And so what I will do, like a lot of times, once a match, and only once, is I will steal my turn back here and do an EX mixer, as you can see. Why would you do that? It's so reckless, right? It's such a scrubby thing. Yeah, but you know what? One of the things that I like to do against players is I like to do something like that early in the match and intentionally make it look like I'm sort of a loose cannon crazy player because, well, what does that do for you? If someone's getting hit by that, they're going to think, oh my God, why would you do that? It's such a negative situation. That's such a stupid thing to do. So next time I'm going to block. Well, if they're going to block next time, that's actually what I want in that situation. I want to take a situation where I'm doing a negative move that gives pressure, and I'm going to get more pressure now. So if they block there, I can actually go for the throw. It's not going to get teched. Or I can push more buttons as long as they're fast buttons. And what you've done is you've essentially, through stealing your turn there, you've bought in free pressure from people who are going to block. And what's going to happen is eventually they're going to figure out that that's what you're doing, that you're getting free pressure there, and they're going to start pushing buttons again. Maybe at the end of the second or third round, they'll figure it out and they'll start pushing buttons again. And then you do it again. You do another EX move once you notice that they're pushing buttons again. And so this is basically a way in which you can steal turns and still have safer pressure on that. Now, I don't know that this is like a great tactic that you want to sort of recommend moving into higher MR. If you're trying to get to like 1800 MR or higher, it's probably dangerous. But if you're climbing to master or you're playing in low to mid-ranked master MR battles, like this is a really good technique to make sort of his bread and butter move, the light mixer, a lot safer if you're not abusing the EX mixer. If you're just doing it once in a match or every now and then to open things up for you. Also really good here, you can do after the light mixer, we'll go back. This is just sort of classic advanced techniques here. So you do the light mixer, especially if you hit them with it. And you can just walk back a little bit, and if they go for the throw, this is a great situation to shimmy in. And so you can do the hard punch, heavy punch, and then do that into the hard cyclone, the roll forward, and the heavy mixer. And so this takes a little bit of practice to get the timing right to link into the heavy mixer. But this is a lot of damage because it's on punish. So I think you get something like 25-30% damage on this alone between the heavy punch into all the rest of it. You can see just looking at the bar, it's like close to 30% damage. It's pretty crazy stuff. Also, this is really useful in a match. If you're sort of, more than half screen away, doing an EX charge shot where you know you're going to be safe from far away, you can cartwheel after that. And if you're quick, if you're far enough away, you can actually, as a meaty, do a medium punch into the target combo, or you can do a throw. And both of those are going to be meaty and safe. They're going to be plus for you because the person's getting hit with a charge shot, and then between the cartwheel, which is so fast, and getting in there, you still are plus enough that you can do more pressure. And so you can see that here. Even if it doesn't hit, you can still do that pressure and take them to the corner and sort of finish them off. So that's a really good tool to abuse, the charge shot into cartwheel pressure. As long as you're doing fast buttons or a throw after, like a jab or medium punch or a throw, it works well. So we're getting into the second round here, getting my butt beat up pretty good. Managed to turn around, get him into the corner. A little bit of a DI, another small little combo. Now you'll notice in my taking Rashid to master video, I mentioned that the throw into the manually timed meaty DI is really devastating. So you can see that here, right? You do the throw, you do the meaty DI, and then you've pretty much got them after that. The combo I'm doing here was actually, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone else do this. Maybe someone has with Rashid, but I don't see it very often. I'm not sure I've seen anybody else do it. You do the target combo into the EX Cyclone, right? Then you push forward medium punch, and you cancel that into the medium Cyclone. And what you can do from there, if you push back, is it shoots you forward, and by the time you land, you can land with a either medium kick overhead or a heavy kick overhead, and you're going to hit them meaty. So unless they're blocking high, they're going to get hit. And usually people like to block low in the corner. So there's the overhead. And then you can do a whole other big combo after that. You can launch them into the air. Even on burnout here, it doesn't matter because I have a level 3 stored up. So I can just shoot them into the air with the EX mixer and then hit them with the medium sky high into the medium punch. And that's going to connect right into the level 3. At that point, it's really just overkill. Like, you don't even need that much damage, but it's the end of the match anyway, so it's fine. So thanks everybody again for watching. I'm going to be doing probably dozens of these commentary videos over the next few months, showing you what Rashid can do in terms of meaties and offense, defensive strategies, but also against specific characters if there's certain things you can exploit against certain characters and certain play styles too. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and look for more of these commentaries soon.